All right, so 100% transparency here. I personally was just learning about the death plugs a few days ago, which is why we seen it in that, and I had transferred these a while back before I knew about such, and wasn't informed about them. But now that I am informed about them, we got to go back in and remove those death plugs. It's terrible that we have to affect these plants again because of a common practice in growing plants. But they're going to have to be uprooted and repotted back in these pots. We have our mix from our last death plug pull. So if we need any extra material, that's good. These guys are probably super happy where they're at right now. They're about to get messed with for probably the second time instead of just being once, like I should have known about before I started. And so we're going to do this as quick and painlessly as possible. So, and the new mixture, they'll come right out. They might have some attachments, but we're not going to fully try to. They might. We'll see what the root structure looks like anyways, and how they're coming to the soil, which is pretty damp down low, surprisingly. And this is good to see. This is all root rotted, so needed to know that. The main tap is what it is, but the roots look like shit. And this death plug is holding all this moisture in. You see that the sphagnum moss is actually holding more water than I originally thought. What the heck? We're gonna pull this, which is good that we got in here. This is bad. See how wet this sphagnum moss is. It's extra wet. This is all rotted. They seem to be doing fine, but really that soil is not looking as good as I thought that it would. It should be much drier than that, and it's probably the pots because I'd be using this on oh, I know what that is. That's the rose food that's degrading like that, which is okay, but these pots aren't for this soil, and this is not what we want. So I'm glad that we opened this. This was a godsend that we did it at this time, because today was watering day and the top is dry, the bottom is not, and it's because of these pots. These are just normal. So I mean, they drain, they have drainage holes, but that apparently is not enough, because I don't want it to look like that at all. I don't want soggy stuff. I don't want these roots are, let's see here. Let's see. I'll just touch the root and see. They're a little dark, in all honesty, and we definitely have fine roots growing, fine root hairs growing. They look good. The fine root hairs do, and I thought this was root rot, really, but they're not sloughing off or anything like that. So we're going to remove this plug, that out of your way so you can see it. This is the plug right here that I knew about, and now have learned that really is terrible. We're going to remove that, and then we're going to update these pots with a bunch of holes because we want more airflow in there. I have them in a very humid environment, so we and I'm not, all the roots are above this plug too, but we're going to cut this plug. And as you'll see in here, it is just, let's see how many roots we lost by doing it that way. About 9 to 10. I'm going to go ahead and get this rotting original dirt out. Spray these roots off. They hate being sprayed like this, but I just am a little disappointed that that mixture acted like that, but I think the mixture acted like that solely because of the pot. I mean, you're going to see it live. It's basically what it is. We're going to throw just a crap ton of holes in that pot, and we're not going to play around with it. So this is what we do. Correct what's wrong. We're going to move fast because we don't want to leave the plant out in the air for very long. So, and now we're going to get to work. I really wasn't planning like that. I want to put 8 crap ton of holes in here. And the top doesn't need much more air, but I'm not going to play at the bottom. Now that is a proper pot for this mixture. So, clean her out. Get the big chunks out so they don't go down the drain. So I'm actually saving this plant in 2 ways. The stupid death plug, which was the trigger, and then my own stupidity, putting them in a pot and giving them a super organic mixture that degrades and actually holding more moisture than it needs to be. So they we learn and we grow and do what's right. And then we find out about it. So that will probably do a lot better now. And it's a good thing that we checked on them and decided to do the right thing instead of just doing that. Oh, it looks fine. We'll just leave it how it is. It'll figure it out. It's not what we want to do to our plants, bro. I don't want to do that to my plants. Just put a small layer down on the bottom so that they don't touch the bottom, because they actually have quite a substantial depth to their root structure. But what I was wanting to see was expansion all around the pot, a big root ball. These things should have had a huge root ball, but they don't. Instead, they are. That's the thing about these Anthurium. The reason why people love their flowers is because they stay around forever. After you've cut them, they have no roots and they look like they're still alive for months. And this plant could have died and it would have never told you because they just look like they're alive. It's what they're known for. So we're going to repot this dude. And this soil is plenty soaking enough, but even if I soaked it, it wouldn't be any more wet than it already is. So we are going to soak it like we normally do on when we repot a plant on intake, because it's not really going to change the difference. The only thing that's going to change the difference now is going to be these holes, which is going to allow airflow in the pot. So this is more of a long run game here. Short term, they're not going to be happy. They're like, we just did this a little while back. Why are we going to go do all this again? And the reason is because I care, bro. Which is probably why we're getting spots and stuff on them. And so they might have told us in their own way. I'm going to wash out all the rot. And the reason why I'm doing this is just because if there is any rot in there, then I'll be able to remove it through all of these great new porous holes and just rinse the heck out of it. And we're going to start fresh. It's still got rose food in there. It's still got the sphagnum moss, the same mixture. It's all the same mixture. What came out, it went right back in. And then we are going to let him dry out before we put him back in that high humidity environment, because that humidity is just going to add moisture to the soil too. But we got a fan on it, so they will. And I'm not going to mix their soils together. That's just not going to happen. We'll clean this off and then we'll do the next one. I don't think those rotted roots is a problem. I don't know if that was it. Was it not? Water. This one is our P2B. That's P2A in the sink, but P2B. And he got attacked by a cat and broke his center stalk off right here. So he's even more of a problem right now. Just a little quick shake. His looks a lot better than that other one. Check his roots. They are so black, but they are not rotted. They're not something like you can't pull off, which is good. They're not thriving either. And right there, we've got mold. So that's got to go. I put a lot of work into these dudes. And I'm not going to lose them to fungus. So I will just remove it entirely. And then, and it's on this plug. So we're going to get rid of this plug. Once again, here's your plug. It's on a lot of plants. That's what they originally started in, but they're not a long-term solution for being able to grow plants, because all they do is hold moisture, even more so than that soil is. And as you can see in this one, it really doesn't even have roots growing out of that plug. It does. It's got one right there. But that root's so soggy it might just fall off whenever we pull something near it. So I'll pull it out. I'm going back in the soil. That's just it all. Lost one big root on that. And we're going to do the same thing with this pot. And I'll probably do it over the trash can originally so I don't have to worry about wiping the sink out. Let's get started. This was unexpected. But it's a learning experience for me. I am just starting, and you're going to be with me through this whole project. So now you know, instead of just going with the flow and using what you got, you might want to consider going and making what you got, what you know already works. Now my big plant, the red Lutz, you'll see it later, is thriving in its orchid pot. I mean, thriving. It's huge, massive, and its root structure is ginormous. So we're just mimicking that with these pots. Helps to have all the whatever you need, whatever tools at hand, to be able to wing it on the spot like this. I mean, it really does. And thankfully, my wife loves me and lets me buy tools. So, good woman has cured of many problems. And I'm lucky enough to have one. Or I'm over here. I'll mix this up. See how soggy it is down low? How dry it is up top? It's deceptive. And this pot helps to, now this pot will help to make it so that it's more uniform. Because we don't want this disparity in water at the top and then a plethora of water at the bottom. It's not just absolutely the opposite of what we want. And I was unaware that that's what I was doing because of the pot. I should have known. And now I do, and I won't make that mistake again. Which means the other pot that we just did, I've got to go put holes in it. Yay. And another one actually after that too. Shoot. I got some work to do now. So, get all this done. Nice and quick and easy. Set all out. I'm going to go ahead and run. fungicide through here. It's not great for the roots, but it is going to stop this fungus thing. So yeah, we'll just have to grow some roots and get past what fungicide was on it because of that neem oil. I'll probably do the other plant too. If they don't survive, I'll just have a vanilla, and that sucks, but they should survive. I'm going to try to dilute it as much as possible by flooding them. And overwatering really doesn't occur because of just drenching them. Overwatering occurs from the number of times that you water them and the soil not being able to fully dry out in between. That's the definition of overwatering. Not that you put too much water in one go. As long as you let it all get out of there, which is what I thought was happening, but wasn't. So, let that go. I'll do the other pots behind the scenes.